This is Tiger Cats postgame on the Ticats Audio Network.
Wow. 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 That's it. Wow. The Hamilton Tiger Cats, against all odds, pull it out. 35-32. The Calgary Stampeders and their fans at McMahon Stadium are stunned. Tiger Town is in full celebration, doing something they have not done since 2004. No longer will we have to rely or talk or ask questions about the Danny McManus game, because the streak is over. And the Ticats playoff hopes are alive and well. Bubba O'Neill, Andy Fantuz, getting up off the floor in our broadcast location. What just happened?
That was incredible. That was incredible. What a finish to the game. It seemed like it was slipping away. Those two late turnovers on the second last and the third last drive for the Ticats. The fumble by West Hills leads to the field goal. The turnover on Dowds leads to the touchdown. They get behind by 5 points. And then all of a sudden, a little spark. They get the kickoff. Lawrence Woods returns it out to midfield. Okay, so you're saying there's a chance. 55 yards, 55 seconds. What do? They get Keandre Smith, 9 yards. West Hills, just a little plunge for 2 yards, first down. Then Tim White, what can you say about Tim White making a 42-yard catch in double coverage, getting smacked, and then coming back the very next play for the touchdown grab, getting hit once again. As a receiver, I'm just very impressed. I mean, that first catch was unreal, but after that big hit and excitement, adrenaline, coming back right to you and finishing it off with that touchdown, just a gut-wrenching, dig deep down inside, find a will to make it happen kind of win. Unreal, well done.
And I think it's important to say exactly what you said there. It was almost like the Tiger Cats could sniff it, but then they made things very difficult on themselves. They got caught napping on the short kick. And the other two things that you talked about in terms of the tough turnover there by West Hills. And then West Hills basically, you could see Dane Evans' body language saying, run left. He ran right into the Calgary defense. Yet the resilience they've shown in a place where, and I know that these players have had nothing to do with the long streak, but they put it in on the line. And, for what we were saying about Dane Evans needing to pick up his play at halftime, I think we were to a man, we agreed that. He finishes 17 of 25 for 244 with the touchdown pass, no interceptions. Those are good-looking numbers.
They sure are. And only one sack allowed against the leading sack team in the CFL. It's certainly a tale of two halves in many ways. I mean, the first half was dominated by the Calgary rush and the Hamilton defensive big plays. And it was sort of turned around in the second half where the Calgary rush, other than the 32-yard rush by Philpott early in the third quarter, was non-existent completely. So whatever adjustments were made at halftime by the Hamilton coaching staff and players, can't wait to ask Coach about that. It certainly did a good job. And then the turnovers, well, Hamilton didn't get any more, but Calgary had the two turnovers on paper, plus that short kick, which came out of nowhere. Just a great call by the special teams coordinator for the Stamps.
Yep.
To really flip the script and gain momentum back. And but, yeah, you got to give credit to Dane Evans, the offense. Really a full team win. It turned out to be a pretty complimentary win. The defense, the special teams did their part. Against, they got a lot of penalties. They forced Calgary to take a lot of penalties, and that big return at the end really set them up for success.
With great defense in the first half, it's really a great complimentary victory here for the Tiger Cats when they really, really needed it. Hey, Tiger Cats post-game show here. We will interview Coach O. Presented by Access Storage, our player of the game, performer of the game, presented by Hercules Tire, right on our strength. We will later get to a player in the locker room. I'm sure that is a very jubilous place. Both you and Luke Tasker have experienced victories like this, and I don't even know how to
Not in
present
Calgary.
this to you guys. I mean, certainly, let's bring in RJ Broadhead and Luke Tasker. Like this, Luke, I mean, this has got to be one of those games, especially when you're on the road, and then you go into the locker room and say, look what we've done.
Oh.
Got to feel good.
Absolutely. And I actually don't have that experience, as RJ reminds us of. In that locker room, I only have bad memories, including the last time I ever put shoulder pads on. and this team's got to feel amazing. I mean, to pull that win out, and just the string of plays to end the games that started with the Lawrence Woods kickoff return was just spectacular.
Gave them a chance.
Gave them a chance. And then for Dane to make those throws down the field, just a spectacular team win. And they kind of, the thing I like about wins like that, when you have sort of things to improve on still, and so a statistically really bizarre game, offensively speaking, you know, you found a way anyways. So you kind of have that sense of, you know, what imagine what we can do when we really put some of our best football out there. But to get that win, I mean, that's just incredible. And to break the streak of the Calgary losses at a point where every win means all that more for this great Grey Cup run, really, really happy for those guys.
You know, RJ, talking to Danny McManus over the years, and I reminded him last week when his Wall of Honor, ceremony came on, and I said, you know, every time I stuck a mic in front of you always told me the same line, no matter what the situation was. Bubs, you got to play 60 minutes. This team played 60 minutes.
Pretty close. Yeah, pretty close. I'm sure there's a few.
They played the 60th minute.
That's right. That's the perfect way to put it. And that's what they needed. They put themselves in a position. Really, when you look at the first half totals on offense, Dane Evans had 30 yards passing. Then in the second half, 214 yards passing. So he turned things around, and Wes Hills wasn't used as much, but he was effective when he needed to be. I just think the defense was the story. And right from the hop with the Julian Hauser interception, followed by the Richard Leonard interception, then he gets another interception for a pick six. Malik Carney, he got banged up in the game, but he had a huge sack that pushed Calgary out of field goal range in that first half. So many good plays by the defense, really, to give the Tiger Cats the lead at the half. And we know how second halves can go, and the Tiger Cats have paid their dues. They've done their penance. They needed something to go their way, and they definitely did, but they earned this.
Well,
Tim White, amazing catches.
Yeah, even when Calgary was getting those chunk yards in the first half, there were some excellent open field tackles being made. And those are small concessions, but they come back to make a big deal. Now,
Yep.
You say, they kept getting 8-9 yards every single play. Well, could have been 20 or 30 yards every play. So could have been a lot worse. So all those little wins all throughout the game lead up to an opportunity to win a ball game where you're getting out-possessioned 22 to 38 and outplayed 68 to 40. I mean, those numbers actually look a lot better than they did at halftime.
You're right.
So,
Yeah, even into the third quarter. So
yeah.
Tiger Cats.
But the great thing is the Ticats haven't had a win like this. They haven't had a win where they needed to really, pull it out of nowhere, and they've lost a few games on the other side of this one. So this is a great character win to go into the final 2 weeks.
First road win. This whole season.
Amazing.
We've all talked about it. Pre-game show, post-game show, anything on the Ticats audio network. Tiger Cats haven't had a great season. They've had injuries. They've had games they should have won. But here they are, first back-to-back wins of the season, and have themselves in a good spot to make the playoffs. Maybe they need one more win. Depends on what happens with Saskatchewan. And Ottawa hanging around, they're going to have to win at least one against Ottawa.
Well, let's be honest here. There's a lot of people around the league, right, when they're doing their prognostications and they're looking at the Tiger Cats, and even in a positive note saying, okay, look at the schedule, win, loss, win, loss. I don't know too many people. I can look on CFL.ca, and I think that's about 7 or 8 of them. They all had that red horse there beside. Like no one is expecting Hamilton to win this game.
Well, just going on the statistics, haven't won there since 2004, haven't won on a road game, but that's what's great about sports. You just never know.
Folks, we have exclusive access to the coaching room. Time to catch in with Tiger Cats head coach, Coach Orlando Steinauer, and then we're presented by Access Storage. And Coach, congratulations. And I guess somewhere within yourself, you're saying to yourself, no longer do sportscasters like Bubba O'Neill have to ask me about why haven't you won in Calgary since 2004?
Yeah, that's a little cherry on top for sure. But right now we needed a win, and we found a way to get it done. Couldn't be more proud of the whole organization.
Coach, you made some big adjustments at halftime to really change the outlook of Calgary's running game. What was said and what was the approach going into the second half to really turn that around from the first half?
Well, I really think that our execution just got a little bit better. We unfortunately we had the injury with Diallo there, and we were really shorthanded. We had some people step up, so there was a couple of wrinkles that we put in there, but for the main part, we just weren't seeing what we were supposed to be seeing out there and executing at the level that we needed to. We know they were going to pound the rock.
And they're the best at it. Hey, Coach, it's RJ. I just want to, with the victory, what were you thinking? I know what I was thinking. A lot of Tiger Cats fans were thinking when you went for it on third down with about 2 minutes to go. Wes Hills didn't get it, which was surprising because usually he's good for a yard or two. But what was going through your mind at that moment when you turned the ball over on your own 22?
It's playoff football. And there was what you don't see is there was a huge wind. Punting the ball, getting the ball at midfield, letting them milk the clock for a field goal wasn't an option, and we got total belief that we can get a yard and a half in that situation. And so that was it right there. And so we're not going to play it safe and whatnot, and we were playing to win.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, we were thinking in the broadcast, Coach, if you punt that ball, they probably return it already in field goal range. And, like you said, I agree. You put the ball, you trust your own guys to make that yard. What's more amazing is that after putting points on the board there, Calgary, your team was able to starting off with what was an unbelievable return and a string of offensive plays that were sort of unique to that game, and to put that last drive together. What can you say about your offense, Tim White, Dane Evans, and that last drive that they put together?
Well, I'll just start, with your first comment, and I think that hits it bang on. As we felt like they were going to be in field goal range right away. And then we go from there. And then, obviously the defense was playing pretty well. We were hoping we'd keep them to a field goal. Either way, it's a field goal, right? But we wouldn't know if we didn't go for it. As far as the return, it always starts being penalty-free, right? If you take a penalty right there, you put us behind the sticks. And so once I think that really lifted our spirits and momentum. You could feel it shift. And then you just had players making plays. We even overcame some adversity there with a penalty. But in that situation, everybody knows the goal. We're going for the bullseye. We're not trying to hit the target. So, unbelievable job by everybody executing. And of course, the individuals are always going to get the shine, meaning Dane and Tim. But a lot of other things went into that.
Well, Coach O, that one's got to feel real good. And I'll tell you, before we split, I got a lot of props for your field goal kicker. Tough kicking conditions. Seth Small drills one from 57. He's just been so consistent and something for you to rely on.
He's been unbelievable. And I shouldn't say unbelievable because he hit it that way in training camp. We just made a decision and I'm not talking about the distance, I'm talking about the consistency. We just decided to go ratio-wise a different way, and it was just trending the wrong way. And so we had to make that, make that decision. And, I mean, he's just such a professional, and, those were pressure situations, and he just made it happen.
Coach O, enjoy the victory. Boy, this one was sweet. And as we've talked about in the last couple games, Tiger Town all pumped up. Boy, this home game against Ottawa, it's going to be a good one.
We told you, stay with us now. Stay with us.
Right.
I'm not making that up now. You can rewind a few shows. All right. You guys take care. Enjoy.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Exclusive access to the coaching room. Coach Orlando Steinauer, presented by Access Storage. And
I love it.
yeah, what can you say, right? I mean, sometimes
They believe. Everyone's starting to believe. It's coming together.
and they've never lost that. I mean, and I think we've said that even throughout some of those losses, the effort has always been there. There has not been a game this year where you say, well, you know what, those guys, they didn't care tonight. And Luke, that I think that really showed. And I think as you talk about, sometimes when you lose the hard ones like that, you got a little benefit at the end.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I, not being in that locker room and being up in our booth when they didn't convert that third down and third and short, I thought that's the kind of plays that keep teams who are struggling to win. You can't make that play and expect to win, except for if your team pulls together an unbelievable last-minute drive. And those guys apparently have belief, and they continue to battle through. And I think Coach O's point is interesting. That turnover on downs when they bat deep in their own end was not their last bit of adversity. They then had the false start on that last drive.
Kelly.
And it was 1st and 15 there by Kelly as they drove down, and Dane converted that to Tim White. So I mean, they continued to overcome hardship, and man, just an impressive group of guys. You kind of think maybe they're really coming together and finding themselves at a great point in the season. And they've got 2 against Ottawa to control their own destiny. And then it depends, of course, short of winning out against Ottawa, it depends how Sask then plays Calgary. Interesting storyline there, too. By beating Calgary tonight, you force Calgary to have to, again, go all out against their games versus Saskatchewan to try to secure home field for playoffs. So it's kind of a compounding effect. By beating Calgary, you're going to make this harder on Sask as well.
Yeah, going back to that third down conversion there, I think we all agree that with the win conditions, it wasn't a bad call. Like, we liked the call, and it did look
and
like
with Wes Hills,
it did look like it was there, and he kind of misread it or kind of cut back against the grain. You could see Dane Evans kind of giving the arm like the lane was there.
Yep.
But I like your question, trying to get Coach O to, like, after they didn't get it, what was he feeling?
Right.
I'm really interested to know.
Yeah.
But he of course.
Well, let's be honest. Tiger Town is saying, I can't believe you went for it on second down.
I got to get us back on that, right?
Right.
Yeah. I think it's the right call. And
sure.
he explained the thought process there, but I feel that was the moment that most Tiger Cats fans were thinking, well, here we go again.
Yeah,
Fourth quarter, we've turned it over on the 22. We've led most of this game, and now they're going to score a touchdown, and they did. But the Tiger Cats were able to answer that touchdown.
But there was a series of things that had happened in this second half, and I think it kind of started with getting caught napping on the short kick. Yeah. There was a series of things that were happening that I think were leading to that mindset of like you said, here we go again.
Yeah.
You know what I don't understand, though, is that when Calgary got the pooch kick at the end, there was 11 seconds left. They catch the ball. Even if he runs a few yards and goes down, they're at like the 45 with the wind.
Yeah.
They have 8 seconds. All they need is 5 or 10 yards to kick a long field goal. And it doesn't matter whether they have a timeout or not, because as long as they get down before the zeros, they'll get another play. Why did they punt it back? Like, I don't understand.
You're right,
that.
Andy. You're so right.
I was like, with 11 seconds, I'm thinking, oh, man, I've been in this position in Calgary where Bo Levi or Henry gets a first down on us when I was playing for Saskatchewan, and they kick a long field goal to win the game.
You're so right.
Tie the game.
Yeah, and Paredes hadn't missed. And how about Keandre Smith?
I feel like
looking at the clock, the 22-year-old rookie running it out.
Right. I feel like their coach kind of told them, assuming it would be a long kick, that try to punt it, because at that point they wouldn't have time. But with the pooch kick, maybe they didn't make the right call.
But on the flip side of that, I'm not sure if I agree with the pooch kick in that scenario.
I don't either.
Right? So like, it's almost like maybe you could call it like a double mistake on both special teams units, led to a strange ending. But it was a little unique.
I'm yelling at Bubba like, "What's he doing?"
Yeah, you're right. They probably only
needed. I'm like, "What is he doing?" And then Keandre's looking around. I'm like, "Don't fumble it."
Guys, let's take a look. We're going to talk to we're going to have a chance to go down to the locker room. We have exclusive access, as always, as presented by Access Storage. After we'll review Andy's CarStar 3 keys to victory, which I said were scintillating this week. They were fantastic. And we, of course, our performer of the game, as presented by Hercules Tire, would be...
Well, let's give a couple honorable mention shout-outs first. Jovan Santos Knox gets 10 tackles, so he breaks the 100-yard marker. Julian Hauser made an impact in many different ways. His stat line was 3 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 interception. Also caused another interception. Tim White, of course, ends up with a 6-catch, 106-yard game. Those 2 big contested catches at the end. But our player of the game is going to go to Richard Leonard with 9 tackles and those big 2 interceptions in the first half, 1 for a score. So he's going to get the nod, but a lot of Seth Small too. Well, my mistake.
Course,
Seth
yeah.
Small 4 for 4. So another.
And Dane Evans.
Dane Evans for sure in the second half, absolutely, when he got the ball. And speaking of Dane Evans, let's go down to the locker room and connect with Dane Evans. This exclusive post-game interview is presented by Access Storage. Dane, when you got the football, congratulations on the victory. That one's got to be sweet. I know you talked about it, and you stood on the podium and said, I've had some tough games against Calgary. In fact, some tough games, including the Grey Cup at McMahon Stadium. But you guys found a way to get it done. And this one has to be as sweet as...
Hello? I think it dropped. Going to it. I think it dropped.
Oh,
Hello?
There you go. Hey, Dane.
I think we got you back.
Yeah, we got you back there,
You got
Dane.
me?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
I
don't know what you said. I don't know what you said it was as sweet as, but whatever it was, double it because that was freaking awesome. that was a hell of a game. And I came on when y'all were talking about who should be player of the game, and I don't know if you can give it to the whole team because that was a total team win, but I definitely second Richard Leonard being player of the game, man. That dude, he sparked the offense. I'll tell you that right now.
Well said, buddy. And what a wild game where you only have a handful of plays in the first half. It just get totally dominated in yards. Yet those big turnovers keep you in the game, and you find a way to totally turn it around and put some numbers up in the second half. Just what happened at halftime there to kind of change the outlook of the game?
I think the second quarter finally ended, so we got the chance to get the ball back, right? Like Calgary did a fantastic job of holding the ball. Obviously, that was some of their game plan, and they did a great job executing it. And you're exactly right. It was just the turnovers that we forced as a defense allowed us to stay in it, and we knew we just needed to get the ball, man. It was like playing a triple option team almost, and we knew once we could get the ball that we were going to go do something with it. So, the biggest thing was the freaking quarter finally ended, and we were able to get the ball on the opening kickoff.
Dane, as you went off the field after you guys didn't convert that third and short, you saw Calgary put up more points, and then you saw your return team take the field. You're doing the math. You're thinking, how many seconds do I have? And let's see this return. What was going through your mind when you saw Lawrence Woods getting consecutive first downs that you weren't going to have to go out there and gain?
Dude, huge, man. I can't make this up. He told us on the sideline he's going to get us past midfield. And he sure as hell, he got us right to midfield. So he for sure did his job, and everybody covering on the team and blocking for him. And that makes it so much easier, especially when there was just around a minute. Now you're not in so much of a panic, you know what I mean? So, and then it just came down to the players making plays, man. I was just the guy throwing it. The line was blocking their ass off. The guys made plays. Tim was for sure double covered on that deep one, but you got to, he's a special player, man. So you got to give your guys a chance in that situation. It becomes players, not plays at that point.
Hey, Dane, it's RJ. It was a 5-point lead with 53 seconds to go when you got that ball back. What was going through your head? Did you say anything? Did anyone say anything? What when you went on the field with the offense, you knew you needed a touchdown. Just take us through your thought process.
We just said we got to score. That's it. 5 points, that's what you're a little kid playing in the backyard. It's what you dream of, getting to go down, and all you need is a touchdown, and it's over. And there was nobody in the huddle that thought we weren't going to score. it was probably honestly the best thing for us because we knew we couldn't be afforded a field goal. And we just had to go do it, man. And we did it. And it was just a really special moment. And I think we're doing some good things right now. So I'm ready to go again for next week.
And I think that's important to remember that the job is still not done. But I'm telling you, this team and yourself, your offense, the confidence level must be the highest it's been all season long.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so, but I don't think it's from a lack of preparation or knowing what we can do. Not really anybody of us on offense is going to be like the chirpers and the rah-rah guys. So I think we have a pretty good, quiet confidence, and we know what we can do. And tonight we did it when we finally got the ball. But I think our defense really kept us in this game, man. By the way they played the first half, they were on the field a lot, and they forced turnovers, obviously, but they had some really key tackles in the open field too. And this was a complete team win, man. Any way you slice it, it was a team win.
Dane Evans, get back with the boys. I know this one's going to be a fun one to enjoy. Probably one of the more fun plane rides home you've had in a long, long time. Enjoy.
It's going to be a great one. Thanks, guys. Great talking to you.
Exclusive post-game interview. That's with Dane Evans. It's presented by Access Storage. Folks, next Friday night is the last home game of the regular season, and it's also Fan Appreciation Night. Enter the stadium before 6:30, and you will have a shot at a 2023 Grey Cup Festival package. That includes a pair of tickets to the Grey Cup game at Tim Hortons Field. Ticats and Red Blacks next Friday night. The Hammer game returns. Andy Fantuz, Luke Tasker, RJ Broadhead. This has been a fun one. I don't know how we all thought about it. Rob Hitchcock said there was a 13-point spread for the Tiger Cats, so he had it nailed. That one was his fun one. Hamilton Tiger Cats win at McMahon Stadium. The curse is over. 35-32 is the final score. For all the hands that put this broadcast together, Tiger Town, we'll see you next Friday. Enjoy your week.